All right, welcome to the Tag Pro Happy Birthday weekend. We've got the first game of OLTP Season 3 starting in just a few moments. It's going to be between one of the most hyped up teams, 50 Shades of Blue Balls, according to Noob's poll about which team the Oceanic community expects to win. And it'll be up against Hoog's team, Balls to the Wall, carrying over the same name that he had Season 1, but not Season 2. Lineups are on 50 Shades of Blue Balls. We have Noob, Drink Bleach, Pear, and Elfit. So Pear being a minors player pick for the 50 Shades of Blue Balls, and they are benching Borgen for this game. I believe there was scheduling issues, but it could be a result of training this week. As we've seen, everybody's been in their rooms a lot this week, trying to get in as many hours, as many scrims as possible. And Hoog is running a slightly varied lineup, I believe, as well, with Squash being an expected minors player, but he is now playing in this game instead of Mamblepig. So it'll be very interesting to see how it plays out. However, Mamblepig is actually here for this game, and he is a potential sub. Alright, the game is about to start on Velocity. Sure, everybody's almost sick of this map. They've played it so much this week, but I gotta say, I've enjoyed it a lot. I guess my team might not have had that many scrims on it, so it might be why I'm not sick of it yet.
Yeah, Street Lamp, I think this game being the first, obviously it's going to have a lot of eyes on the game. It's going to be interesting just to see how each team plays the few ways to go about it. Yeah, it should be interesting.
I've noticed a lot of teams at the start of the game going for a bomb to try and pick up, from blue team's perspective, to pick up the right power-up, and from red team's perspective to pick up the left. But yeah, that was quite interesting. Neither team went for that just then, and now we have Noob with a rolling bomb on regrab. Boosting it to base, he's got 2 beat. He just needs to get a nice little bomb, and there's no return coming out, and he gets returned by Squash. Oh,
it goes the other way too.
That really should have been a cap for their team, I feel, just there. He managed to make a clean rolling bomb run into base, and he just couldn't quite get the bomb time right. Now we've got a 1v1. Oh, Pear. I feel like that was lag there. That was really poorly defended by Pear there, allowing Squash to make a very easy grab. And the 50 Shades of Blue Balls are now running 2 offensive defense and 2 chases, Elfitsu and Pear. So it looks at the moment that Pear is doing more of a defensive job than Bleach, but I'm not sure which one's necessarily doing it better, as Bleach just kills Noob. Man, I wish I was listening to Noob's size right now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how well each team can, coordinate themselves, have regrab, because especially a map like this where a cap can occur in only 3 seconds, it's extremely important to have regrab. So I think that might be the biggest factor with this map.
And especially regrab communication. For instance, saying as an offender whether you have regrab or whether your teammates need to get it. I know Noob is quite adverse to that idea, but I think he might have to just kind of tough it out and do some comms on regrab for this game if they want to win. Ooh, Vexation has 3 beat here. Only Noob, an offender, who's going to try and block him, but Vexation slows down and now he has 4 to beat again.
And
Sorry, continue.
You always have to look at the other side of the spectrum too, which is it's easy to crowd on offensive defense. So it's really important that defense let the offender, the flag carrier, know which lanes are open. I mean, a few times we've already seen the flag carrier come into base in the most crowded way they could, when it could be avoided with some communication.
Yeah, but at the same time, your path is always going to be changing when you're coming into base, and it can be really, really difficult to get out the comms as quickly as you're coming into base. And really the players just got to do as best as they can. A lot of it comes down to non-verbal communication. So basically having an understanding through scrims about where you expect your defenders to be, and then being able to block in a way that's just comfortable with your style. A lot of blocking really can't be communicated because it's too fast flowing.
Yeah, and we've just seen a really good cap by Drink Bleach there, taking every responsibility on himself, getting the return with the rolling bomb and then capping. That was really good.
And now we got Noob. He has 2 beat. He's nice little blocks there.
Good blocks by Pear.
No, it was a Fitzo block. Oh, it could have been Pear
Pear
as well,
got a
but
good block there as well. Yeah, just good
okay.
defense.
Yeah, nice.
And it looks like we've got a little bit of a train going.
Ooh, but it's stopped now. So maybe, yeah, I'm gonna say that Pear, when he had that terrible 1v1 block before, that it was just lag, because he does seem to be picking up his game a fair bit. And Noob's got another rolling bomb coming into base, and he's just gonna have to piss off. Oh no, that was chaos. He gets the kill on the chaser, and then the bomb sends him flying up into the spikes. But Bleach has to be careful here. Doesn't want to do any silly spikes, because that could have easily been a cap for the balls to the wall.
That's very interesting. No one is anywhere near Bleach. There just seems to be no one communicating where the flag carrier
Bleach has no pressure on him whatsoever, and this should not be a cap. It was a good try from Bleach, clearly going for the corner, but he hit too much of the wall on the full, rebounded up where he wanted to be rebounding a little bit more to the side.
Looks like we've got a reset here. Drink Bleach is boosting in now. Gets a clean grab.
Yeah, so it looks like Bleach is definitely playing offense. That's not really what I expected. I mean, I still think of him as a defender due to the last couple of seasons, and when I played with him in Ocon, it's just really weird to see him playing an offensive role. And if he can pick up rolling bombs here, we might see another cap coming up from Bleach. But instead, he's just going to go straight into base, and he's going to get returned by Insanity. Shit, that was pretty close. He had all beat there for a second until Squash boosted in. There we go.
Small overcommit by Pear there to let Vex get the grab on the red team's end of things. And again, no pressure on the flag carrier. It's quite easy sometimes just to pay attention to the offensive side of things, but just before I saw some really good defense by Blue from El Fitzo and Pear.
Oh my god, Noob is going to be sighing so hard right now. Oh, his rolling bomb just ran out as he tried to push the offensive defense out of the way. Oh my god, poor Noob. I'm going to say he's probably one of the most unlucky players in Tag Pro. He always has things going against him. And that is a good point. We just got told that Shoebox subbed for Insanity. You're allowed 2 subs per half in the current season. Another cap to Noob. Colin Butter, because he is on a roll. So you're only allowed 2 subs, and it seems that the balls to the wall have already used their first sub, with Insanity coming out and Shoebox coming in.
Noob is away mid. Is going the vertical boost route, and that's definitely going to be a cap.
Easy return. I mean, easy blocks there by the most favored team to win this season. And we'll see if Noob can do anything beneficial for his teammate with this Tag Pro lead. And he's
not going to lead. I think that was the right decision there. Like, it's, again, regrab is probably the most paramount thing in these games. So
100% agree. However, Pear did come in very shortly after, but I don't think Noob would have been aware of that situation. So ultimately, good decision from Noob, and unfortunately, Blue team just got bombed there to their death into a spike. They didn't expect it at all. Squash going for a power up instead of sitting on regrab. That was pretty risky there. I wouldn't have recommended that personally. You see a lot of, well, basically without regrab, you're going to lose games. And going for a power up when they have your flag is very, very risky indeed. I know I have been suggesting to my team, and I was actually listening to the 50 Shades of Blue Balls before when they were practicing. We basically agreed that you can go for pups, and you should always go for pups if they don't have your flag. But if they have your flag, you sit on regrab all the time.
Not much happening at the moment. We've got no chasing by the blue team. Both sitting, waiting. There we go. El Fitzo with a snipe.
El Fitzo. Oh my god. I don't know if that was communication from Drink Bleach or whether you could actually see him. A little bit hard to tell. But damn, that was a good snipe.
It was really good.
But yeah, that was really weird that 50 Shades was doing no chasing. They were just very comfortable to sit and scout. It might have been because they were aware that I think the enemy FC had a juke juice, so they were at risk of easily being juked, which I guess makes sense. But I haven't really seen any team ever play like that before, so it'll be interesting if it's actually a strategy.
Well, strategies are constantly changing these days. Like, I'm sure every team has figured out their own thing for this map just within the few weeks that we've had to practice, and maybe they've just decided that offensive defense is the way to go, rather than trying to push the chase.
That was interesting there that Elfitzo would sit on offensive defense, but instead of going out to help pair, considering they did know exactly where the enemy FC was, allowing him to ultimately grab a rolling bomb, I believe. But now Elfitzo's away, and it looks like it's working for their team, but I'm not sure I'd agree with all the current strats that they're running at the moment.
Vex still not having much pressure. There we go. So he's got the 2 chases now. And Elfitzo might be returned here, which he is. Vexation picks up a rolling bomb. I think it's very important as well for power-ups to be controlled on this map. There's only 4, and having those 4 is very, very beneficial.
I wouldn't say only 4. I think 4 is above average for the current rotation of number of power-ups on the map. I think, like, for instance, Boombox only has 3. I feel like most other maps, I can't remember off the top of my head, I feel like most other maps only have 3. And 4 power-up control, trying to keep control of 4 power-ups at all times is very, very difficult to do indeed.
I suppose you're right, yeah, but so far, which team do you think would have better power-up control this game?
Neither team has really been that impressive. I mean, we're in the last, I'm thinking about the last 3 minutes where pretty much all power-up control goes to shit for most teams. Because there's just too many chases where you're trying to focus on other things other than whether it's been a minute since the last pub grab. But I couldn't really say. If we had a pup counter, I could say, but it just doesn't seem to be too impressive from either team at the moment.
Noob here might be able to... Never mind.
So an interesting first half with all of the 50 Shades of Blue balls. Once again, the favoured team, however, Borgen, a major's pick, is sitting out. Also, all the 50 Shades, they're on top of the ladder, and all of Balls to the Wall are at the bottom of the ladder. Balls to the Wall being the Premier Ball champions of Season 1. However, the only player carried over from that is Hoog. The rest of his team is pretty much a new team. However, 50 Shades of Blue Ball running nearly an identical team to last season, except for Street Lamp, they now have Drink Bleach. And I suppose instead of Pair they have Borgen, but I expect that to be changing for the weeks to come.
Yeah, 28 returns by Pair and Elfitzo in that first half. I think that's pretty well played right there on defense.
Yeah, but their chasing was questionable, but their defense in base, their blocks were really, really on point.
Yeah, it's hard to notice sometimes, but I think their containment is very good. Like if they get grabbed on, I think they must have really good communications there. Just taking it slowly removing the space that the enemy FC have. Just constricting.
Yeah, but when I was listening before, about an hour and a half ago, I was quite appalled by the communication that was actually coming out by the team. It was pretty much silent most of the time, except for people like sighing or Bleach's birds coming over the background noise on his microphone. There was just not a lot of comms happening, but I guess as the clock ticked down towards game time, their comms did really improve, and they were getting some pretty good communication, especially from Noob. Noob was quite surprising in his ability to communicate this season, considering how much I had to fight with him over communication last season. And you're only allowed a 10-minute halftime break in this game. And I'm not sure exactly who will be keeping track of that. Certainly not me, because I am terrible with pup timers, so I'm basically I'm unable to look at a clock. So it'll be interesting to see how it's actually regulated, but only 10-minute halves, and whoever delays forfeits the game, I believe.
Just making sure that the scores go up. Oh, they're on the stream? Not a problem. All right.
Pretty impressive start from 50 Shades. The top scores from last season, top scores on average tend to be about 14 caps for a game. And they've managed to pick up 5 caps in a first half. So this will probably be, if they can replicate the performance in the first half and the second half, this will probably be a above average scoring game. Also, will really have their work cut out. And I honestly can't see what strategy they need to change to try and get back into this game. Probably one thing that they should have changed is spending less time going for the Mario Flare Vexation. and focus a little bit more on practicing. Interesting to note is that Noob and Elfitzo, neither of them actually have the Mario Flare. I don't think Elfitzo even has the Castle Flare. They're just really interested in winning OLTP, not in winning flares this weekend, which is pretty much the complete opposite. I think my team, before, we were putting off a scrim to all go for the Mario Flare instead of actually practicing. Kind of disappointing, but you know, individual over the team, I suppose.
Not a lot happening at this point, just obviously a reset. We're seeing the usual no grab defense.
Although we are seeing now Pair on offense instead of Drink Leech.
That's true.
See how it works out. They haven't
control is in the next 10 seconds, actually.
And looks like blue team is definitely going for it. Yeah, with that many people in your own base, you definitely want to go for it. Especially if they don't have any real threat on your flag, except Pair makes an attempted grab, doesn't quite get away.
So that's 2 pair ups to each team. Yeah, at least every pair up was contested there. It's good to see. Both teams are taking pair ups much more.
Yeah, but in the first minute of the game, there's always going to be good power up control. Although I feel as the game wears on, you'll see about 5-minute mark, pups, at least based on the first half, will just be grabbed when they're seen rather than people preparing for them. But I'm hoping to see a change. A lot of flashes coming out from Red Team. And Shoebox is away, and Red Team has no offensive defense set up.
Wow.
Oh my god, Shoebox spiked himself. No way. Noob was in a terrible position at the time. That could have easily been a cap, but I think there was a... Actually, no, credit where credit's due. I don't think Shoebox spiked himself. I think he got bombed into that one.
Yeah, he was definitely bombed, but almost the perfect angle. Almost avoided being... Been very near miss.
Oh! Bleach with the clutch! Okay, he didn't get out of base, but you gotta admit, that was pretty impressive. Also interesting to note is that as soon as Bleach went on offense, Red Team was getting... Oh my god!
Great
Red
save
Team
by
was getting grabs,
Elfitzo.
and Elfitzo does save the day. And once again, Noob was out of position. He couldn't have done anything to prevent the caps. But Elfitzo's going to carry his team through to the very end, unless he's just going to sit there waiting to either get returned by a chaser or get returned by somebody with a rolling bomb. That was pretty weird. I'm hoping it was lag. That was not the brightest move. Nice little return there by Elfitzo. Shoebox trying to get around the spike field, weaving him, threading his way through, and Squash gets another return. Now Hoog there was just running anti-regrab. I don't know if he was doing that first half. I didn't really pay much attention to it, but that was quite interesting to see just then.
Looks like there and gets a clean grab. And it might actually go the other way here if they can get a return, if Elfitzo can get that.
I think Hoog did make a good call on changing strats. I mean, clearly it wasn't working first half, and so far they're 0-0 in the second half. So I'm not too against him playing anti-regrab because it seems so far to be working. I mean, 0-0, why not play it? But at the same time, anti-regrab is going to leave you wanting a little bit more help when you're chasing. And now Pair has one to beat and he spikes himself. Pair was really, I think he was on top of the boards for the entire of the OFM tournament. What was it, late last year sometime. And at the time, I didn't think he had the ability to play well in a team because every time I saw him in pubs, it was okay. But every time I saw him in OFM, he was amazing. But I gotta say, I've seen some really great clutch plays from him. Not necessarily in this game, but since OLTP has started, he seems to have picked up his game a fair bit.
Some very slow movement by the red offenders. We're not actually seeing any contest for the flag.
Yeah, but at least they're going for pups, which is very, very important in this game, as we all know.
Yeah,
Bleach manages to push him out, and he picks up the tag, where he gets 2 tags in about 2 seconds. And unfortunately, he's going to pick up the flag, and there's a Juke Juice about to spawn on him, who is going to close down, can't get the split. But Noob now has an opportunity to make a very clean grab, and he's away. He's got 1 to beat, and he's got none to beat because Bleach gets the tag for a defense. Very nicely played there. Pups wins games, and they had pup control, at least for left and right, and it did them justice. I say Pup wins games, but I also say regrab wins games, and it looks like that red team doesn't have regrab right now. They're killing their own players left, right, and center, and it's going to become 1-all. A little bit disappointing to see that they didn't have regrab there. Maybe it was two flacids.
It was it was two flacids, and obviously that's not going to help in such a fast-moving map.
Elfitsu was left by himself on defense, but he managed to delay until his other teammates were able to spawn. Pear is going to try and help out with a power-up control, and Noob is left to Flaccid by himself. And it looks like a power control is a lot better in the second half. Vexation was just waiting for the left. Squash knew that right was up, and he's coming back on defense now. And it said the 4-minute mark. You would expect, or at least in the last half, that Pup control was really, really poor at this point in time. But I think they... I always feel that during the halftime talk, captain's always gonna talk to their teammate about power-up control, because you're never gonna be perfect, so there's always room for improvement. At least in Pup control. LMA seems to have perfect hold control. I don't know how he does that. Him and Bloody Drogo. It'll be interesting to see how that game plays tonight.
Yes, Vexation and Noob have very similar hold times so far, both just above the minute mark.
And we're seeing a reflection of the ladder kind of reflecting the score a little bit more. Instead of all of the 50 Shades being on top of the leaderboard, it's a lot more spread out. And Drink Bleach, he's going to ignore the Juke Juice. I don't think that was the right thing to do there. I thought he was going to go back for it. I understand what Drink Bleach is doing there. Doesn't seem to really care about Pups too much. And now Noob is in a bad position, but Bleach is going to save the day. And
also gets to pick the power up
on his,
and a clean grab
in defense. He's trying to contain, but he really can't do much when they have a Juke Juice. And Shoebox! Oh, okay, well that time it was definitely his own fault. There were no bombs that time. Sorry, Shoebox, no excuses, mate.
Let's see if Hoog and Shoebox can get some good blocks in here. I think Vex might actually be able to get a cap here if they work well enough.
And there's only two... Oh, Drink Bleach, nice little return there. But the Blue FC was blocked by his own defender, I think, a little bit.
And we've got another reset.
So it looks like this game is going to go to the 50 Shades of Blue Ball's favor. Kudos to the Balls to the Wall. They definitely picked up their game in the second half, but it's just not going to be enough. I mean, they've gone from being a subpar team compared to 50 Shades to being on par. They're doing very nicely to keep Noob out of getting any caps. And both teams have really picked up on the ability to control Pups, but ultimately I can't really see, like short of a miracle, I can't really see the Balls to the Wall winning this game at this point. Now with a tag pro in base, Noob gets returned by Shoebox. Elfitsu is away. Hoog's chasing him. He has 3 to beat. He's going to pick up a boost. Rebounds into the same little block that...
Oh, that's...
Oh! Yeah, Elfitsu used that boost the same way that the rest of his team does. It's obviously a strategy. They boost into the blocks near the bombs, and then they rebound through the spike field. And it seems to be working for them quite nicely.
Yeah, I wonder if that's in an attempt to get the enemy defense to be calling out the wrong lanes.
That is a good point. I hadn't really considered that. I thought it was just because the going through 4 is quite a risky play, because you got those bombs there. They can they're up every 30 seconds, and you could easily die.
Plus, it's quite a choke point for defenders. They love to use that one.
Oh, I really thought Noob was going to be out of there with a tag pro and a Juke Juice. And where is Bleach going? I guess he's scouting for Pups or something?
And we'll see what Shoebox can do here with a grab. Not much. Back to the other side of things. Drink Bleach. And Noob getting a grab.
Noob once again with his unlucky timers, and his tag pro ran out just as he came into base.
I mean, there's not much that's going to happen in these next 30 seconds. I think the outcome of this game is set in stone.
Definitely.
But Vexation might be able to open that up, make it a bit more difficult to deal with.
No way! Oh, Bleach had a good try. Very good try, but good blocks by his teammates. Vexation there. maybe they can get a regrab train going. Like, obviously they can't win with 3 seconds left, but damn, they certainly really tried in this second half. So kudos to them. Vexation taking top of the leaderboard. But it's pretty close. I wouldn't say it was necessarily a stand-up play. I think in general the whole team just performed better. Not necessarily Vexation, even though the rest of his team is lagging behind big time. But good try to that team.
Yeah, that half the scores were a lot closer. There wasn't as much of a separation between the two teams, and obviously that was shown with the second half score.
Actually, that could have been. I don't know how many caps were grabbed when Insanity was on field. I'd like to look back and see what the case was, but it very much could have been Insanity lagging out or something that caused a lot of the early game caps, which might have been the reason that it was 5-0. And then once they get a couple of caps, then your morale is a little bit low, and then they get a couple more.
Yeah, early game caps can be. And sometimes it's more of the mental side of things that can actually have a bit of an impact in the game.
So ultimately, congratulations to 50 Shades of Blue Balls. I mean, they showed why they were voted the top team. I can't remember where Balls to the Wall were placed, but I think they're probably about an average team. I'd expect them to see them about 5th or 4th this season. And I think 50 Shades of Blue Balls is a force to be reckoned with. It's going to be pretty scary for any teams that are coming up against them. They've got good strats. All the offenders are using the same boost paths, and it's going to be scary. I'm not looking forward to playing against them.
Being the first game of the season, though, yeah, as you say, like, eyes are watching. Everyone's got their eye on this game, and strats are being read, and by now people already think of ways that they can counter these strats by these teams.
And I think the next game starts at 8 o'clock, and I can't remember who the fixture is, who's actually playing, but on to the next one. Up and over, boys.